Namaste. Uh, Welcome to the second episode of this, what I call it as wisdom series. Something which I would like to share as I'm reading through some interesting works and books by, both ancient and present. And today, I want to talk to you about one of my favorite books and a favorite author. His name is Bhartrhari, and this is the book. It's called the Shatakas of Bhartrhari, which has been translated by Purohit Gopinath. It is from Bharat Kala Prakashan, and one of the, I think, rare treasures of wisdom that you can expect in probably in the entire Sanskrit language. There are many subhashitas, which is basically good sayings, moral sayings along the way. But Bhartrihari is a very interesting character, and there are many stories associated with him as well. And some of them are fables, some of them are probably, legends. But there is a common consensus that Bhartrihari was somewhere in the medieval century. People attribute him that he was the elder brother of Vikramaditya in the kingdom of Dhara, and he wrote basically three books. And this is a compilation of those three main books. When I say three books, it's basically the Shatakas, which is 100 plus. Shataka is not just 100, but around 100 or 100 plus uh, shlokas or verses, as we can call it. He wrote Niti Shataka. The second one was Shringara Shatakam, and the third one is Vairagya Shatakam. So, as the name says, Niti Shatakam is fantastic verses about Niti, about wisdom, about common sense, knowledge along the way. Shringara Shatakam is about love. Now, we often think that Sanskrit is all about about worship, about prayers along the way, but some of the finest poetry and literature in Sanskrit is drama, aesthetics, and most importantly, Shringara Rasa, which is the love. And in Shringar Rasa, he actually, he kinds of divides it into a couple of things, which is on basis based on different seasons, spring, summer, rainy, autumn, winter along the way. So Shringara Shatakam is kind of time. Then he takes a detour, and that's the beauty of Indian philosophy or Indic philosophy. Vairagya Shatakam. So from because in our Purusharthas we don't see Vairagya, or should I say the worldliness and the other world are all integrated to human existence. So grihastha is as important, making sure that your duties towards your family is extremely important. You're part of the natural cycle, nature cycle as well. So Vairagya Shatikam kinds of is is by Bhartrihari after when I say after in this book after Shringara Shatakam. So today what I want to do is kind of talk little about Bhartrihari, his very interesting life. Again, some of these may be fables, but some of these are stories. But it kinds of gives you the idea of this man who was supposedly the king, elder brother of the famous Vikramaditya. Now, Vikramaditya is also, people consider him as Raja Bhoja, but again, there are different versions of it along the way. We will not go into the technicalities, but according to the some of the agreed literature, people do attribute that Bhartrihari was Vikramaditya's elder brother, and being an elder brother, he was the king, but he was kind of distracted, with extreme indulgence in pleasures, especially with wine and women. And during the course, he feels he has an incident where he sees the infidelity from his wife, his queen, and that kinds of changes his mind. And there's another story where after that also he doesn't reform. He marries a second courtesan who actually gives out, gives away her life for him. So that kinds of changes mind. So where does the pivot happen? We don't know. Some of them also attribute that Bhartrhari was tutored or was mentored by the great yogic guru Gorakshnath. Again, these are some of the stories. But I think the essence is what I want to do today is talk to you about a very interesting verse from the Niti Shatakam. As I said, Niti is where he's basically talking about morality. He's talking about the whole idea of how do you behave, how do you discriminate who is right, who is wrong, how do you look traits amongst the people. So very beautiful verses from them. And the verse that I want to recite today is 41, verse number 41 from Niti Shatakam. And the verse is as follows. It says, Yasyasti vittam sa narah kulinaha. I'll go to the translation later. Sa panditaha sa shrutvan gunagyaha. स एव वक्ता स च दर्शनीय सर्वे गुणाः काञ्चनम् आश्रयन्ति. Yasyasti vittam sa narah kulinaha. So first thing is that this is about the idea or the power of money. So Bhartrhari kind of in a satire or a sarcastic way says that when you get money, so one who is wealthy, suddenly he's considered to be well born. So nara kulinaha. Kulina is basically you are suddenly considered to be upper status. Sa panditaha, that person becomes a knowledgeable person, a learned person, a person of wisdom. Sashrutvan gunagyaha, so he's well read, well versed, man of intellect and knowledge, and also a person who has, who has the gunas to discriminate. So he has acquired all that wisdom. Sa eva vakta sacha darshniha, so he also becomes a great communicator. And Saiva Vakta. Vakta means communicator. And such a Darshaniya. Darshan. By the way, the word darshan is a very interesting word in Sanskrit. People kind of loosely translate to philosophy. It is one of those non-translatable. That's a discussion on itself. But for ourselves, it can we say that darshan is basically who is a philosopher in a loose connotation. And finally, he says that Bhartrhari says, Sarve gunaha kanchanam ashrayanti. That means kanchan means gold. So all the wonderful virtues reside in gold/money. So I'll repeat this beautiful shloka. It says, Yasyaste vittam sa narah kulinaha, sa panditaha sa shrutvan gunagyaha, sa eva vakta sa cha darshniyaha, sarve gunaha kanchanam ashrayan.